On the 16th of June 1976, thousands of schoolchildren in Soweto, South Africa, walked out of their classrooms and into history. They were protesting a government decree that forced them to learn half their subjects in Afrikaans, a language they associated with apartheid and oppression. What happened next shocked the world. The police opened fire on the marching children. At least 176 were killed, though many historians believe the true figure was far higher. The youngest victim was a boy named Hector Pietersen. He was 13 years old. This is the story of the Soweto Uprising and why South Africa chose this date to honor its youth. To understand what happened on the 16th of June 1976, you need to understand the apartheid system that shaped every aspect of life for Black South Africans. Apartheid, meaning separateness in Afrikaans, was the system of legalized racial segregation enforced by the white minority National Party government from 1948. Under apartheid, Black South Africans were denied voting rights, forced to live in designated townships, barred from most jobs and public spaces, and subjected to a deliberately inferior education system known as Bantu education, designed to prepare Black children for lives of unskilled labor. The immediate trigger for the uprising was Afrikaans Medium Decree No. 1 of 1974, issued by the apartheid government. The decree mandated that Black secondary schools must teach mathematics, arithmetic, and social studies in Afrikaans, a language most Black students did not speak, and which was taught by few teachers in township schools. Students and teachers alike saw it as an act of deliberate humiliation. Afrikaans was the language of the police, the language of the past laws, the language of the boss. The decree was not about education, it was about domination. The march that took place on the 16th of June 1976 began in Orlando West, Soweto. It was organized largely by the South African Students Movement and the Black Consciousness Movement, inspired by the philosophy of Steve Biko. The students were singing and chanting as they walked. Estimates of the number of marchers range from 3,000 to 15,000 when they encountered a police cordon. The police first used tear gas and then live ammunition. The first child killed was Hastings Ndilavu, aged 15. Photographs of Hector Pietersen, 12 or 13 years old, being carried dying in the arms of a classmate named Mbayisa Makubu, with his sister Antoinette running alongside, became one of the defining images of the anti-apartheid struggle. The Soweto uprising did not end on the 16th of June. The protests and violence continued for months, spreading from Soweto to other townships across South Africa. By the end of 1976, estimates suggest that between 600 and 1,000 people had been killed, most of them young. The uprising marked a turning point in the anti-apartheid struggle. It galvanized international opposition to apartheid. It mobilized a new generation of activists inside South Africa, and it shattered any remaining illusion that the apartheid system could simply contain the resistance of the people it oppressed. South Africa chose the 16th of June as Youth Day after the end of apartheid and the transition to democracy in 1994. The date was not chosen to move on from what happened. It was chosen to ensure that it would never be forgotten. Youth Day is a day of national remembrance, of tribute to the children who marched and died, and of commitment to the future of South Africa's youth. Schools, community organizations, and government departments hold remembrance events. The Hector Pietersen Memorial and Museum in Soweto is a focal point for national commemoration. 3 facts about the Soweto Uprising and Youth Day. First, the photograph of Hector Pietersen taken by photographer Sam Nzima was published around the world and became one of the most reproduced images of the 20th century, a single moment that communicated the brutality of apartheid more powerfully than 1,000 reports. Second, Mbayisa Makubu, the young man photographed carrying Hector Pietersen, subsequently fled South Africa under pressure from the apartheid security services and has never been found. Third, the Afrikaans language instruction decree that triggered the uprising was quietly abandoned by the apartheid government in 1979. 3 years after the children it was imposed on had died protesting it. The 16th of June is observed as a public holiday in South Africa, not as a celebration, but as a reckoning. It asks South Africa and the world to look at what was done in the name of racial supremacy and to hold that knowledge. The children of Soweto did not march knowing they would be shot. They marched because they refused to accept an education designed to diminish them. South Africa remembers them on this day and commits, year by year, to a future that honors the courage they showed and the lives they did not get to live.